Hello, anybody out there watching? This is Kurt at Tie-Dyed Skies. We're going to be doing dyeing a balloon. I'm thinking balloon. Firework fold, real quick. It's kid size, large. I'm going to try to make this fairly quick. I'm going to hold you guys up from your night. You'll get to see more of me dyeing. I dye a little bit every day. How about that? That was clear yellow I just put on the end of that. I'm going to go for a soft orange. I'm using these powdered dyes. They are mixed at a ratio of 3 to 1 or 2 to 1. The oranges, yellows, reds, most greens have a 2 to 1 ratio. That's just my own particular mix. That ratio represents the amount of soda ash, 3 parts, to the amount of dye, powdered dye, 1 part. I'm going to go for some strong orange now. So far all these colors that I've used have come from Pro Chemical and Dye. I hope you can hear me over the fan. We're going to jump right into some amethyst or eggplant. What do you think? What do you think? Alright. Eggplant it is. Pouring it on rather generously on this top side. I'm going to see, I did a shirt earlier where I only dyed one side, and I think it looked like it's still a very fantastic shirt. And most ice dyeing, that type of thing, they'll flip the shirt over and do the second side to get full saturation. I'm going to leave that collar. This here is a little bit of collar. This is the very front of the shirt, right in here. It's going to look like a firework. You can see some of the examples actually. Turn that on. Sorry, trying to bring my screen up. I'm waiting for my screen to come up. Come on, where'd you go? There we are. at us. Oh well, I'm going to go ahead and work on this shirt. I can review it later. I was wanting to see if there were any comments or anything. Can't get it to come up. Put a lot of this eggplant on here, and I'm going to mix it with some black here in just a minute. I'm just dumping this on with a 1/4 teaspoon measuring spoon. I'm going to toss some more of this strong orange in here. A few different places. Put some more clear yellow along this front. This is the front of the shirt. I'm just kind of haphazardly dumping it on. It's okay. There we are. Found it. Found it. Okay. Let's see. We've got all that on there. I'm going to throw some sun yellow on here. Right behind this eggplant. Throw some on top of that eggplant. Throw some up here too. Start wetting what we have on there. I'm going to start wetting it out. Just using hot water. Started my pump. Got it turned up fairly high. I'm going to turn it down just a tad bit. This is a peristaltic pump I'm using. You don't have to use a peristaltic pump. People have been using water bottles to transport the hot water onto the shirt. You can use syringes. Big syringes. Whatever you can use as a vessel to transport the hot water to the shirt. with the powdered dye already up on it. Crank that up a little bit since I got this part wet here. I'm going to dye it first. Up a little bit more. I'm going to dye this fairly quickly. You should be wearing safety glasses or something if you're going to do this. I'm actually sticking this homemade nozzle down into those folds. I'm wetting that dye down really fast. I've got this rack on an incline. These yellows are going to be transported along the bottom. This shirt is folded wedge shaped. It's very shallow or short in the front down here. It's about 1 inch deep right here. That was awkward. I'm doing these yellows first because these other colors will take on that yellow, especially that deep purple. I say deep purple, it is a deep purple, it's actually eggplant, but it is a very deep, rich purple. Just really opening up these loose folds, letting that dye saturate down in there. You don't stay in one place too long. Try not to. The reason being, we don't want to wash off all the dye just yet. We wanted it to have time to react with the fabric, cotton in this instance. Open up some of those folds with this tool. It's a blackhead remover. If you've seen any other videos, neat little tool to have, especially if you have blackheads. I don't have blackheads. I'm sure I do, but I use it for irrigating or holding the folds open while I'm irrigating the shirt. And I left this intentionally unbanded. No tension. I want this orange and eggplant and yellows to become like fire. It's not going to be perfect, but I want to get that idea. Flames, lava. Actually, I'm modifying this as a firework fold, what I call the firework fold. You can do so much with this fold. I've done eclipses with it. of course, the fireworks. Sometimes I'll just do like a moonscape or a... There's just so many, depending on how you put the colors on, there's just so many possibilities with this one fold. And very easy to fold, I might add. These bands right here are going to be fairly tight. That's okay. We might flip it over and open those sides, that area up, before all said and done. I'm going to switch hands on you for just a second so I don't get in your way. It's just plain tap water heated in a crock pot. With soda ash mixed with the dye. I believe this right here, what I'm doing right here, is where the magic's happening. I'm not a chemist, but I've got chemist friends, and that's their belief, their theory. And it enables you to wash your shirt right out, no waiting. Some people do this with the microwave. I'm not sure how that works after they dye a shirt. I've never tried it. Discovered this process before I knew about microwaving. Yes, I saw some videos on it early on, but it's not what... I didn't hear many good things about it. So I came up with this technique. Doing some experiments. The color holds true. Very brilliant colors, of course, depending on dye placement and colors used. Try to use what I call highlight colors, or the colors that really pop. And I use the darker colors to kind of set off the background and make the brighter colors really stand out. You guys can see what that eggplant is doing, mixing with that yellow down there. I originally used hot water because I thought it would open up the cotton more to receive the dye, and maybe that's part of it. I don't know. But it sure holds its color well. Sure does. You won't believe it till you try it. Really all you need is the presence of a hot water source, however you choose to apply it to the shirt. And you have to have a ratio of powdered dye in soda ash ratioed out in your powdered dye at 3 to 1, 2 to 1. You can make it 4 to 1 if you want. More soda ash might hold the color, I mean, for 100 years, I don't know. I've only been doing this process for about 16 months. Only been tie-dyeing for about 16 months. But came up with this process because I was impatient waiting. If you've seen any of my other videos, I talk about I was the kid that opened up the Christmas gifts early under the tree. Rude, yeah I know. Brat, yeah I know. I don't do that anymore. But I don't have to wait to open up these shirts. I can see immediately what I created. I don't have to wait 24 hours, 36 hours, 12 hours. I don't have to microwave it. If that's your thing, cool. I'm not gonna knock you for that. That's your thing. It's not my thing. I like doing this. It makes me feel more artistic, like I'm drawing or painting or something. Alright, I'm gonna stop that real quick. That is some pretty stuff going on there, isn't it? What do you think we should do there? Turkey red, scarlet, blues. How about strong red and fuchsia? I'm just gonna put a little fuchsia in here at the edges, so kind of across the center of this area. This is for a customer's grandson. Make it look like he's on fire. We're actually going to go with the basic red. I've got a strong red here I thought about using, but I changed my mind. I do that sometimes. I think I'll throw some of this red down here too. Got about this guy down here at the bottom. Looks like I'm throwing a lot of dye on there because it's ratioed out at 3-to-1, 4-to-1, sorry, 2-to-1 or 3-to-1. Only 25% to 33% of this is dye. Oh my. I think we'll go ahead and start wetting this out some more. Gonna go a little bit slower right in here, get some of that soaking up. That fuchsia mixing with that red. This also helps you can see what's going on, doesn't it? Having that opened up like that. Just kind of like letting the water go where it wants to. Excuse me, form little rivulets, collecting little pools. Everybody still with me? I think we'll put just a tad more orange or something in here. We'll see here in a second. Let's not do anything drastic just yet. Up some, really get that dye flowing. We're actually about done with this side. I think I'll flip it over and do the other side, just some little spot checks. Probably cut some of these bands off. Might throw some orange up in here real quick, we'll see. Nah, I'll put dye on the other side up in here. Up in here. Anyway, this side's about finished irrigating. Let it drip for a minute and then flip it over. Yes. I think since I have this right here, I think I'll go ahead and put on some of that orange though. Orange. I'm going to use the soft orange. Oh, I think I might as well use some orange right here. Set these colors up, rinse it out in hot water, throw it in the washer, regular cycle, hot water. I actually toss it in with some towels, some white towels, older white towels that I keep in there. They stay in there all the time. I guarantee they're very, very clean. I do that just so the load doesn't come off balance and you know, that type of thing. Make a racket. Okay, I'm going to call this done on this side. And remember I said I was going to let drip dry? I'm not going to let it. I'm not going to let it. Got my pump really cranked up high now. Try to do that just to rinse any residual dye away. It's really splashing back. Got the safe glasses on though. I'm not going to wait for that to drip. I'm just going to flip. Well, just like that. Look, I'm touching that fabric and no dye on my fingers. No dye. I'm gonna cut some of these bands off here. Using the needle nose hemostats and a pair of scissors. I'm gonna open up this one right here too. See what kind of color we got up in there. So I see some white space. Some of that's actually probably kind of cool. I think I'm going to leave that just as it is. I believe so. So let's cut a couple more of these bands off. See what we've got. I'm checking for saturation now. That's all I'm doing, because where these bands are, puts pressure on the cloth, presses it together. Sometimes you want some white space, and sometimes you don't. Kind of like what's going on there so far. Kind of like that, sure do. See all that white space there? What do you think? Should we do something with it or leave it alone? Because I like a little bit of white space, I think I'm gonna leave it alone. We could actually put maybe a little bit of blue up in there. Yes, no, maybe. Nope. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. Just see what it turns out like. Just to see. Trying to get that three bands off, and that's the last ones we'll pull off. I think we're going to stick right there, or we're just going to dye one side. Just going to dye one side. I think we're going to go for a pop of orange down here, though. Just going to do some quick orange thoughts, quick orange. Red, purple. I'm looking. I'm looking. What the hey? I'm gonna do some raspberry, or excuse me, mulberry up in there. Just get it wet. Be done with it. Where do you think I should do it? Here? Here? What do you think? Make a decision. Before we do, there's a little valley going right down here in these rubber bands. I'm gonna spread it out a little bit, so not so much will run off in there, and I'm actually going to prop him up some. I'm going to prop him up with this guy right here on the fly. that. See how I'm wetting this above, and that mulberry is slowly leaching down. Ought to add to a nice texture. Look at that. That cool. Look at that. And because I've done almost every shirt since I got this color, I think I'm gonna put on some of this pretty deep lime. Not a lot, just a smidge. Usually green and purple would make what color? Brown. I'm going to try to prevent that from happening. See that I'm touching that all over, and I don't have any dye on my fingers. This is almost done, and I just changed my mind again. I do that on the fly. I'm going to put a very nice blue in here. What color blue do you think? Color blue do you think? How about some of this blue? The reason I'm putting that in there because it's kind of got a spacey scene going on. That's robin egg blue, by the way. And I'm just going to slowly drip this part right here. Don't want the dye to run off. I actually want some of it to run through because there's a couple of layers right here. I'm going to hold that in place. A couple of layers of fabric there. I'm glad I added this blue. You will too. I think the little customer this is going to will also enjoy it. I think he's going to enjoy the whole shirt. I hope he does, because cut it apart. I guess he can. I think he'll just be thrilled. I bet he wears it to school on Monday morning. I'll have to ask grandmother. I work with grandmother. One of my very early supporters, Marilyn Jones. Thank you, Marilyn. She was an early believer and has become quite the regular customer. Grandkids, daughter, herself. We're gonna call that done, folkses. You think so? You think a little bit more of that? Okay, I've just got commented I need a little bit more deep lime right there, so we'll do that real quick, and then we'll be done. I promise. All right. Let's finish this guy up. I'll try to keep some of that green from going way down in that purple. Or, you know, it's a red violet. If you want the color it actually is from Pro Chemical, it's mulberry. Mulberry and raspberry, a couple of fruit colors, and I love them both. Alright, give it a quick rinse, and I'm going to take it to the sink. Take it to the sink! Okay, I will post results in the video. Thanks, folks. See you soon. Good night.